Let's talk about the great professional lie that you probably still believe. And what if I told you you've already been locked into the cage you're trying to escape from? What's even more shocking is you might be helping build the very walls that trap you. Stick around, because right after this, I'll show you exactly how this happens in the real world. You think being more reliable, more proactive, more of a go-getter at work makes you safer, more free, more in control of your own destiny. Here's the truth. The company handbook will never print. The system isn't rewarding you. It's measuring you, it's tagging you, and it's slowly, methodically locking you into a cage you helped design. Think about that for a second. Now, quick question. Don't overthink it. The person at your job, known as the reliable rock, the one who always steps up, where are they in 5 years? A, promoted fast, the classic success story. B, temporarily swamped, but it'll pay off later. C, professionally fossilized, stuck in a role they built, unable to move. Drop your guess in the comments. I'll tell you what the cold, hard mechanics of power, ancient and modern, have to say about it. We're fed this story. Take initiative. Be seen. You'll be rewarded. It's the motivational poster of career advice, and it's dangerously naive. Let me show you the real algorithm, not the fluffy HR version. Meet David, a cloud architect in Silicon Valley. 3 years, 0 system outages. His boss loves him. With David, he says, "I sleep easy." Year 4, David wants to move to the new AI team. He applies. The talent system pings back. Critical stability node requesting move. Risk high. Recommendation deny. Maintain in current position. His perfect record didn't open a door. It defined the walls of his room. But what happens when the system no longer sees you as a person, but as a part of its infrastructure? What happens when your value is no longer determined by your passion or potential, but by your predictability? Leaving was now a structural risk. Or Lisa at a London bank. She heroically saves a doomed risk model project, gets applauded, our crisis savior. 6 months later, another model tanks. Before the meeting even ends, the project software suggests an assignee. Lisa R., historical match for crisis model repair. Her initiative wasn't a good deed. It was logged as a competency tag. She didn't get a bonus. She got a permanent subscription to other people's emergencies. Your proactive effort is not understood by the system as helpfulness. It's processed as data. Unit demonstrates pattern Y in scenario X. You're not building goodwill. You're updating your own prisoner file. If you've ever done a favor that became your permanent job, type guilty below. Here's the cognitive flip you need to make. You think stepping up shows your strength, your potential. The system sees it as you exposing a vulnerability, specifically your tolerance for taking on extra risk and responsibility. The reliable person gets tagged, structural component, cost, freedom. You're now a fixed part of the architecture. The proactive person gets tagged, dispatchable resource, cost, autonomy. You're now on the shortlist for specific kinds of pain. Your ambition, team spirit, and desire to stand out, these are just noise to the system. The only thing it cares about is your predictable pattern. How many of us are caught in this trap? We give our best, but the system locks us into a path we can't get off. Does your current job truly reflect your potential, or has the system already decided for you? See, the reliable rock and the proactive hero end up in the same place, just by different roads. One trades behavioral freedom for the label always available. The other trades responsibility freedom for the label first to call. The one thing not part of the deal? your actual freedom to choose something else later. Have you ever felt like you're working harder than anyone else, yet the doors just don't seem to open? You think you're exploring new territories, but in reality, you're simply hand-drawing the limits of your career on a map you never agreed to follow. How many of you are trapped in a role you built for yourself, only to realize that every extra effort just reinforces your cage? And guess who gets taxed for everything inside those borders from now on? This isn't a new digital age trick. It's an ancient principle of control. A Chinese strategist named Han Feizi explained it 20,300 years ago with a tree metaphor. He said a smart ruler doesn't waste energy shaking every single leaf. He just shakes the trunk, and all the leaves tremble. Your reliability and initiative, that's you turning yourself into a perfect, graspable trunk. The system shakes you and gets a predictable, useful result from all the leaves, projects, teams attached to you. You feel influential. The whole tree moves. But you lost the right to ask why you're being shaken or when it stops. You're just the trunk. Your purpose is to be shaken. Imagine your company has a secret department, the Human Capital Cartography Center. No photos on the wall, just live data tags. Mark coordinates cross-team mergers. Sophie salvages data disasters. Amir optimizes broken processes. Every time you take initiative, you are adding a new landmark to your own map. A dot. Connect enough dots and you get a shape. That shape becomes your official, system-recognized area of responsibility. You drew the borders yourself. Here's the mundane horror version. Tom in New York fixes the jammed printer once. He's just being helpful. 3 months later, the facility app lists him as the on-call printer expert. His manager shrugs. The system says you're the guy with a 100% success rate. Initiative is just you typing your own name into a blank cell on an infinite corporate spreadsheet. So back to that first question. Where does the proactive person end up? If you picked A or B, you still believe in the fairy tale, that hard work is a linear path to reward. If you picked C, you're starting to see the mechanism. Initiative is ultimate self-tagging. It makes you sharply visible, incredibly useful, and strategically locked in. This is level 2, part 3. Your proactivity doesn't buy you freedom. It finances the construction of your own better defined box. Which leads to the obvious, desperate question. Fine, if being proactive and reliable are traps, what's left? I'll just be perfectly consistent. Never late, never early, never a mistake. A flawless, predictable, neutral machine. That's safe. That's flying under the radar. Oh, my friend, that is the most seductive trap of them all. Your quest for perfect consistency doesn't make you invisible. It makes you the ideal subject for 24/7 surveillance. Because when you establish a perfect error-free pattern, any future deviation isn't just a mistake. It's a catastrophic anomaly. And the system will watch you endlessly to ensure it never happens. Our next video is why consistency makes you a permanent surveillance target. We'll expose how your flawless performance becomes the justification for your own constant monitoring. The reward for never stepping out of line is a permanent spotlight on the line. From the exposure of initiative to the transparent cage of consistency, this is the system's 1-2 punch for anyone competent enough to be useful. You've just felt the first one. The second is already on its way. The system funds your promotions with the currency of your future options. Spend wisely, subscribe, and hit the bell. The next lesson isn't about working better. It's about seeing the prison that gets built as a reward for working perfectly.